Hey everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now to today's video, I'm going to talk about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 4. Now it's funny because most of my videos have mostly been on the movies. It's like I never really gave much more attention to the shows, but because of how epic Falcon and Winter Soldier's been, I definitely thought I had to talk about it. Do you know what I mean? I've seen a lot of people giving their own views, and I just thought I would like to give my own because it's just so damn good. And yeah, I kind of wanted to give my own perspective on what I thought and what I think will happen kind of down the line, even probably beyond the show. First thing I noticed, definitely, I felt like the first part of the show was very interesting. I mean, not even just the start of episodes, but the beginning of this episode, where we kind of got a new backstory. Not a new backstory, but we got to understand more about Bucky. We finally got to see part of the the process of how they managed to. What's happening? How they managed to stop him being brainwashed anyway. As we know from the end of Black Panther, we saw he was thanking Shuri and so on. She's obviously the main catalyst for it. But what we saw from this show was what's the name of her name? Is it Io? Io going through the actual process. So what she was doing was Bucky doubted it. She said no, it will be alright. She used the same words that those guys were using to control him beforehand. And I guess to a degree it kind of makes sense, because even after anything has been done, in order to kind of make sure it's worked, you're gonna have to confront that past again to a degree, if that makes sense. So by going through that words again, it's only by repeating those same words that you will know whether the treatment that Shuri had used on him had worked. And you could see the amount of emotions that he was going through, recollected everyone that he had killed through different times. The emotion on his face said it all. And he had to go through that pain. For him not going through that pain would have proven that the treatment didn't work, and it was still there, and he could possibly become that Winter Soldier again at will. So for me, that was a very, very interesting start to the episode. I mean, I'd never really expected it to start like that. It's funny now, as it moved on, obviously we saw him talking with Io again in the present time, where she was quite upset that they had broken Zemo out of jail. Obviously he's explaining what had happened. At this point, actually, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of even forgot why the Dora Milaje wanted Zemo. I was thinking, what relevance did they have? But then obviously when she explained it, I was like, oh yeah, how could I forget something like that? From Captain America, if you guys remember from Captain America Civil War, obviously Zemo was the one who framed Bucky, obviously killing at the time T'Chaka, who was the king of Wakanda. So the Dora Milaje were feeling obviously guilty that they couldn't protect their king, and failure to protect the king was under their watch. So it makes sense. The main issue, the main whole, as we all know, the main thing with this episode was obviously focused on John Walker, who, as we know, me personally, I hate the fucker. I need him off my screen. But it was interesting to see his own character development. We had seen it from past episodes. We kind of knew he was a bit of a prick. Even though he wanted to do the right thing, we knew he was a bit of a prick. We could already see the flaws in his personality, which could get in the way of everything that he wanted to do. And it was just proven on so many occasions. I don't even know which part to even talk about first. It's like, in fact, let me just go straight for one of the main bits anyway, where I thought was really telling during the course of the episode was when he had got spanked. He got spanked by the Dora Milaje. I think that specific point, even though she took down Bucky as well, but I will get to that, I think that part was very significant, because I think that is the moment he was well and truly humbled. Not even just that it was women, but I mean, there could be an element of that, we just never know with Walker, who he's looking. Not only was it the fact that he was beaten by people who had never had super soldiers. Maybe there was a bit element of sexism. I don't know. He thinks these women who have no super soldiers, you never know how it is, especially in America. Do you know what I mean? Which is what the stories also done well. But I do believe this specific session well and truly set the tone of what would happen with Walker to come, as we saw later on. So after that, I think was it before that moment where Zemo had obviously crushed. Yeah, I think it was. Zemo had crushed the super soldier serum after catching Carly, and then as we know, it's probably a cliche at this point where when somebody else finds it, inevitably there's always one left. There was one left on the floor, which obviously this people Walker had picked up, and obviously knowing he wasn't a super soldier, and compared to everybody else he's been fighting, he knows about obviously Steve Rogers, Captain America. He obviously decided not to take it then, but just stash it into his pocket, isn't it? But we kind of knew, we all had that sense that he might take it anyway. And this was probably to be the case as well, because obviously as it went on, we saw what happened to Lamar. Not even before the Lamar, where he's fighting some of the guys on the stairways, obviously. Which is why I like what Marvel do. You don't necessarily have to see the person taking the serum or doing the actual action itself. You can tell by other actions that they'd already done something else which you suspected in the first place. And this was the case with Walker as well. You know, bending the bars, kicking people through, kicking people through walls and all of that. You knew that wasn't normal for a human. Do you know what I mean? And then just to top it off, how unique he had taken it was because of what happened to Lamar, Battlestar. Me personally, I'm not too sure I'm a fan of. I don't know whether you gotta forgive me for saying this in case you guys feel different, but I was never really a fan of Lamar / Battlestar. I don't know why. There's just something. I know he's his right hand man and he's his kind of voice of reason, but I've just never taken to him, to be honest. I don't know why. I might be a bit weird. But yeah, I mean, that's my issue with him. But then, as we know what happened after that, my God, I absolutely lost my shit. I lost my shit because you knew something was gonna happen, not just because of how he just ran out of the building, but when the music kind of stops. If I'm correct, near the end, the music stopped. It became very tense, and just to see. To see, no, you didn't have to be Steve Rogers, but to see a version of Captain America do what he did in front of the world was just absolutely, oh my God. I mean, I remember having my hands on my head like this. I was thinking about it for like fucking how many hours afterwards. It was brutal. It was nuts. And it just makes me think of what's going to happen in the future for Cap, because there's so many other issues that come with this now, with what he's done. Not only has he obviously tainted the shield, well, literally physically tainted it with blood. He seems to have damaged its legacy. He could have potentially damaged the legacy of obviously what a Captain America is and what it stands for, and Steve Rogers as well. I wonder what old man Cap must be thinking looking at that anyway. And if it all goes back to Sam, you know, if he didn't give the shield all of this. Personally, I'm happy he's done that, because I know that means that he's going to I know he's going to lose the shield at some point. But even though I hate the guy, it was still absolutely shocking to see. I don't care, and I believe everyone else will feel the same. Even if you're like me and don't like Walker, you'd realise you'd still be shocked. I mean, taking the shield, like I said, a lot of people thought he would decapitate him, but he just he just done that. He just put that shield right into that guy like 4, 5, 6 times, and it was brutal. I mean, this is something that probably Disney's not known for, but yet they went and did it, and I'm very glad they've done it. This show has really taken violence and things to a whole new level, you know. And what's interesting about this is the level of realism, actually, because as you know, in America when the cops or when the people who are supposed to be in charge do something that is very illegal, unethical, they're very quick to cover up these kind of stories and pass the buck. It's very interesting to know what do they plan to do. How realistic are they going to make this? I reckon, because I'm having the feeling that the government will try to, and a couple of other YouTubers have said the same thing I've seen, and it kind of does make sense as to why they would. At first, I reckon they will try to cover up cover it up, even though it's on screen for everyone to see. They're gonna try and cover it by saying how bad this person was, how bad that group is. And to be fair, it's true. These guys have been bordering on, if not become terrorists. So for him to have killed one of the terrorists, could you say that's really bad? I don't know. You've killed a terrorist, but then because of who you are, it makes you look the worst. It makes you look like the actual villain, if that makes sense. So that's another way I'm looking at it. Do you know what I mean? It was interesting to see there also Carly in the background as it was happening. Carly in the background looking shocked. You saw Bucky and Steve looking shocked. They don't know what to do. They don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah, I mean, that's just how the episode ended, and I need episode 5 right now. Because but another week of waiting, it's shocking. I'm just waiting to see the transition of the Shield for me personally now. I don't know whether in the next 2 episodes he's going to actually have regardless of, he's going to do something else stupid, which is probably going to lead to a showdown with Bucky and Steve, in my opinion. Maybe we might see War Machine come back. We haven't seen him since the first episode. According to rumors, there's meant to be a secret cameo in the next episode. So this will be very interesting. And as much as I've hated Walker, and I do, he seems to have done a very good job. The actor himself, his character development has been quite interesting, especially with this episode now, because we kind of knew that his personality was off the rails. But to now see it go this far is astonishing. Obviously, now we kind of know he took the super soldier serum. So all we can do is wait for that anyway. But yeah, that's what I've got to say on that issue. On to another interesting point I'd like to talk about, actually, another character, actually, is Carly. Carly, whatever her second name is, I can't say it. Now, Carly is a very interesting character that we've all been watching throughout the episodes, innit? And there's so many ways to look at her. Obviously, the most obvious one is that she's obviously killed people along the way. But the more you, and I think it was evident in the conversation with Falcon, Sam Wilson, it's like you kind of like her cause. You do like her cause, and it kind of does make sense. It does make sense. But like Sam said, the way she's going about it. So in order to make other people's lives better, you have to go and kill. Not even just make other people's lives worse, but you have to actually go kill how many people for you to make a point. Which in some sense obviously doesn't make sense. I understand what the frustration is in terms of what happened during the blip. Obviously during the blip, half the universe got destroyed. The world seemed to be coming back, yada yada yada, and that's the life that we were enjoying before everyone came back and stuff started going back to the shits. I get all of that, but in fact, let me ask a question though. With all of that happening, it's a thought that I've had. Does this mean that Thanos was 100% correct? And I will say 100% correct because he was talking about people being thankful. There will be a more thankful universe if he did what he did. Well, guess what's happened? During the 5-year time gap, 6 years, 7 years, whatever, the world started to come back together. Everyone was starting to work together. But the moment everyone came back, the world started going back to shits. So my question is, was Thanos correct in the end? And and have the Avengers not seen have not seen from his perspective? Because it seems to me that this seems to be the case. This seems to be the case. Carly and her crew seem to be part of that people who are grateful. But this is just something for you guys to think about and come at me at, innit, if you've got any issues with that. But it came to me just not too long ago, within the last couple of days, and I think that's something that needs to be considered. Anyway, back onto Carly. Anyway, there's so many issues with her. Her story's gone deep because, you know, she's got this issue with the power broker who we don't really know who he is. We know the power broker's been in contact with her and been threatening to kill her, but I still feel we need to see a bit more of the backstory between those two to know how they actually got here, to this position. I have a feeling that not only because of what happened with the blip, but the power. I feel like the power broker is also having a strong influence on her actions. So even if we feel like her actions are immoral, she's obviously in some ways being manipulated, being tricked into doing what she's doing. You look at her face and her expression sometimes, I am getting the degree of she doesn't really want to do what she's doing. But obviously, yes, she's doing it for the cause of the people, but you have a sense of she's acting this way because of the power broker. I feel it's a case of if someone managed to get rid of the power broker, she would actually go back to being a more ethical individual and doing things differently. That's just how I see it. It's going to be interesting to see exactly how she gets the power broker off their back. Anyway, because obviously they're looking for they want the super soldier serum. We know that Zemo destroyed the serum. Hold on, let me just see what I've got here. Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, we know he destroyed the serum, so when she'll say she'll deal with the power broker, I can't wait to see what this final showdown is going to be. Do I think she's going to be killed off or killed? There's an element of yes, but I feel like she would have been redeemed, if that makes sense. She would have been redeemed. She would have got the power broker off, but she might die of wounds or something. She might even sacrifice herself because it might seem like it's for the greater good. So even though she's killing other people, she might, in order to rectify that, she might have to actually go and kill herself, which leads to, you know, another set of events, which yada yada yada. So which helps everyone's cause anyway. So that's going to be interesting, and I want to see whether she has enough interaction with Sam. I would like it to see, I think, Sam being able to kind of sort the situation out himself without maybe her being killed. I think that would be one of the big steps for his version of Captain America. That would show he can do maybe what someone like Steve can do. Do you know what I mean? And it's interesting because he was about to do it before this idiot, as you know, came storming him, had no patience. So in some ways he has kind of proven that ability, but it will just be interesting to see how much more they can go into that. But I am looking forward to seeing Carly again and seeing where her story takes her and who it takes her into direct conflict with anyway. I do feel there's a lot more to tell, especially if the rumor is that episode 5 will be the longest episode up to date now, and I'm guessing episode 6 will probably be longer. So that's what I've got to say in her. Baron Zemo, my god, Baron fucking Zemo, Helmut Zemo. For me, people may disagree, but I think he's probably in the top 5 Marvel MCU villains of all time, in my opinion. There's something about Daniel Bruhl's performance, yeah, that's given us someone who's not super powered, but that's given him ability to kind of manipulate, to orchestrate a lot of the problems for our heroes. We've seen that in Civil War, yeah, literally didn't even lift a finger, but was able to manipulate the team to separate them, which nearly made them destroy themselves, which nearly influenced the destruction of Earth, because if they couldn't get back together, Thanos and those guys would have succeeded. His ability to, and I've got it down here in my notes here, what he's done in episode 4, to be able to give Sam and Bucky some information, but not too much, where he's able to hold back information just enough to be able to continue to manipulate them, probably until he gets to his main goal. And with that, they kind of know what he's doing, but they don't know, if that makes sense. They don't know what he's doing. The guy's obviously a few steps ahead of them, in my opinion. He's also showed an absolute ruthless streak. When he's going to kill you or kill someone, he kills them. He killed them. Was he even one of the power brokers or the guy creating the serum in cold blood? He killed him in cold blood right after they got the information right, what they wanted. He was about to kill Carly. He did get her, and he's about to kill her straight. When this guy's ready to kill, after he's done what he's ready to do, he'll do it. And he's just proven for me to be one of the smartest villains out there. And I think people need to realize is, despite not doing stuff on a global scale or a universal scale to destroy everything, he's one of the only villains. He's probably only one of the 2 or 3 villains in the MCU that have actually accomplished the actual goal that they wanted to achieve. And he's not just some two-dimensional villain as the old villains used to be. He's someone who actually had a motive. We saw that in Avengers Age of was it Age of Ultron? Yeah, with Sokovia. So he does have a backstory, and he does have a reason for not wanting these super soldiers around. You cannot hate him for that. We might all feel the same way. He lost his family and all that. Everyone else got on with his life. He was there to suffer. So you cannot hate him for what's gone on. And his performance alone will make you not want to hate him. The only issue I have, and I'd wish, is they allow him to put on the just for fan's sake. I want him to put on the helmet again. We've seen it, and you've seen how epic he looks when he's killing with the helmet, with the mask. But I just want to see it again anyway. It's gonna be amazing. I do. Basically, Zemo's the one. He's the one. Don't know what more to say about this show. What else happened? Yada yada yada. Talked about him. Just a quick one on Bucky as well. I'm loving this this dynamic between him, Sam, and the thing with the Dora Milaje kind of caught me off guard. Obviously, I know Sam wanted him to get in the way because Walker was getting punked. Let's face it, Walker was getting punked. But I didn't expect him to get into a physical confrontation, you know? And to see, what's her name, take his arm off just like that, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. Well, I thought she was going to take it, but then they left it. Yeah, it was definitely a funny moment with Bucky anyway. But I am really liking how he goes around business with Sam. We're getting to see more of what he's in combat again, how strong he can be, and I think I do want to see more of that. I do kind of want to see more of that anyway. What else was there? I mean, this episode, this show seems to be getting better with every episode. I do know that, like I said, coming, there's meant to be a secret cameo coming true. I don't know who it is. I'm not sure who could it be. Could be another Avenger. I don't know. But I did hear, obviously, I don't know if anyone remembers from the first episode. Was it first or second episode? Bartrot the Leaper. Don't forget about someone like that. There is meant to be another showdown between him and Sam or something. He's meant to be back in the fold. So maybe someone like him who could be working for the actual for the actual broker. Sorry. And another character we've also forgotten, guys, who's probably gonna come to the aid is Sam's guy. I can't remember his name. the guy that he was working with in the first 2 episodes. He hasn't been seen again since, and he probably will show up again. And according to rumor, he's meant to take on the Falcon persona, while Sam takes on the Captain America persona. That's what's supposed to happen. So, sorry, I don't know what's gonna happen here, and it could do, but it's just, we just gotta wait and see. You know, I mean, yeah. Listen, the show's banging. I thought WandaVision was amazing, but I'm gonna be honest, I think Falcon and Winter Soldier is even better. Do you know what I mean? Just probably because it's the kind of program it is. It's like action, it's kind of espionage, whatever you wanna call kind of film. It's just, but all I can say is just well done to Marvel. Hope they keep it out for the next 2 episodes, and I can't wait to see where these characters go after the show. Will it lead to, like, will Sam become the leader of the new Avengers or something like that? I hope that certain characters don't get killed off, because there's no point bringing them up this far and to have them killed off straight away. Do you know what I mean? They're not like in my opinion, they're not like some of the basic baddies we had before, where we didn't have as much character development. We've got people like Zemo. Who I believe should continue, especially as we've got like the She-Hulk program. We've got some of the other programs, and I believe he can still form the Masters of Evil. So there's a lot of characters who I believe still have a lot to offer going forward. So here is to hoping that we do see that. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, this is just what I think of the show anyway, and all of the characters and what's going on. I'm pretty sure I've definitely and probably never talked about every single scene. I just tried to get through just some of the more significant ones anyway. But once again, that ending, my God. John Walker, get the fuck off my screen. I need Sam as Captain America now. I also hope they keep it as violent anyway, to a degree anyway. I hope they, especially as is Disney, I hope they do kind of keep it quite violent, because I do think it adds to the realism. Oh, and I can't wait to see what they do with Isaiah. I forgot his name. Isaiah something anyway. Maybe he could be the inspiration later on in last episodes for Sam to decide to take on the mantle of Captain America. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. And yeah, that's all for it today, guys. Listen, if you've liked my video, please give me a like and subscribe. I'm gonna be trying to do more of these on each episode anyway. I know I wasn't doing it before, but just because of how good it was, I thought I'd definitely do my first video on an episode. Yeah, if you've got anything to say or anything to argue against or anything, please let me know in the comments, and we can discuss your points too. Yeah, but yeah, guys, anyway, thanks for coming to the video, and I'll see you at the next one.